Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Smash or Pass on the JayBee and Milly channel. I am JayBee and joining me as always is Milly.
Hi.
And we have Rhianna.
Hello.
So today we are going to be reviewing Scooby Doo Where Are You in Bedlam in the Big Top. And I suppose if you're not too familiar with this episode, we'll kick you off with a Rhianna plot summary.
Okay, so Mystery Inc. is driving through the woods, and I'm pretty sure it's at night, so we're continuing this whole night and evening theme. And they encounter two carnies experiencing some bike trouble. They are Samson the Strongman and Max the Midget as they introduce themselves. And of course, they start explaining why they're leaving the circus because of strange happenings that are going on. So the gang being the gang, sticking their nose into everything, stumble upon this circus, and they find out that apparently it is haunted by a ghost clown who is hypnotizing people with a gold coin. Will we see the end of Mystery Incorporated, or will they be stuck in a hypnotic trance forever?
Ooh, I like that. And we could do our own little thing where we entice some people, like watch the pretty coin of gold and you will do what you are told. This isn't a threat nor a bribe. Please like, comment and subscribe.
Oh my gosh!
That's what we could do.
Let's do it!
Yeah, so if you like being hypnotized, please do like, comment and subscribe. But the episode, oh gosh, I kind of feel like I'm getting too excited already. So
I guess starting off from the beginning, one of the first things you see is the villain. It's kind of one of the first, it's a cold opening. We saw it quite a lot in the movies, and I know JayBee and I especially can be quite critical. So in terms of how the villain is aesthetically, what did you think, JayBee?
Well, I think it's a bit, this isn't a criticism, but it kind of is. I mean, I very much am watching this episode with the whole, nostalgia, lens. But it's generic as you can get, right? I mean, how many ways are to do a spooky clown? You know, you've had, real clown cases in real life. You've had Pennywise, of course. And this is just on that list. It just looks like a clown. And I suppose I don't really have anything to criticize about it or nothing to praise about it. It's just pretty cool. Pretty cool. What about you?
I mean, I guess, talking about how you said kind of generic, I guess, what would you do to make a spider look scary? To most people, it just is already, and I guess it's the same with clowns. It's just quite a common phobia, so I guess maybe they didn't feel they needed to do too much with it, and it's iconic, and I love it.
My thing is that if they're going to call it the ghost clown because it's a Scooby Doo thing,
then make it a ghost.
Yeah, it could have been a floating clown or a green clown.
It is at one stage.
True. That's some blow up thing, yeah, but who knows? What about Rhianna? What did you think about this spooky ghost clown?
So, this, as you said, it's quite generic in, expectations, I think, because I won't say, okay, what it is, but let's just say you guys have something really cool to look forward to. In an interview, won't say what it is, but there is something huge on the brink, and it is incredible. I won't say any more than that, but just a little teaser. Keep an eye out on the channel, which is why you have to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to see that. Literally, after you've seen that, every other, not even the Scooby channel, not even anyone that does interviews, right, needs to get a good answer. It's the best thing that's ever going to be produced. I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't going to go that far.
Get good.
But the ghost clown for me as a child, I'm not terrified of clowns. They creep me out. And I think I've seen, this kind of made me feel a little bit more nervous around clowns because it's just spooky, but not terrifying. Not like you're going to traumatize kids. Like if you showed a child it, they will be screaming. I screamed at just the trailer. But you showed them an episode of Scooby Doo, like Bedlam in the Big Top, you're not going to traumatize them, at least not for life. They'll get over it, most probably. But I it's interesting, and I mean, was one of Milly's favorite pop final sodas.
Oh yeah, this was the chase that Millie wanted, even though that variant doesn't appear in this episode, which is why I'm not.
It was purple. As a Daphne simp, you should appreciate it.
Maybe. Who knows? But I guess what I will say is we could almost argue that this may have been somewhat of an inspiration for the Lunar Ghost in the live-action movie, because their costume is quite bell-bottomy like this, and like very clown. Yeah, you know, the buttons and the, what do you call them? They're like frilly things. There's like a special word for them.
Like a collar thing.
Almost, yeah. I'll come up with the name, but it's got a name for it. So you got a little geezer and a big geezer on a bike. Some stuff happens and they collide, and Fred's like, "Oh, gang, maybe we can help." And that's when they convey to us this thing about the ghost clown, or the curse, is just why everyone's quitting. And then we find out from, I assume there's some type of ringleader, the circus owner, who tells us that everyone's quitting because of the ghost clown.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess we start to see some more of kind of the clown's abilities. So I think it just starts hypnotizing different members of the gang. So I think the first one's Scooby.
Yeah, because they go to leave, and then Scooby is like, you know, you are brave, and that's a fact, and I'll do the trapeze act or something.
Can it just be said, I love circuses, and I'm actually kind of sad that we've not found one to go together yet, JayBee.
We did, and he didn't go.
No.
But to be fair, circuses, they're a bit dodgy, right? Especially in England.
I've always enjoyed them.
I think there's a circus that's coming near me sometime soon in like end of July, August time.
Is it Cirque du Soleil?
I don't think so. I think it's just a traveling one, but it looks good.
See, I would love to do that. I kind of associate circuses more with, I don't know, like crowds, and I'm very antisocial. But
I will see to it that you go to a circus.
I'll do it. You know the ones from Ghost Whisperer? Oh, yes, okay. Circus. Fortune teller. Yeah. Candy floss, or cotton candy, whatever it's called in England, because I've been Americanized. And I want to see a lady clown, because I've never seen one of them before. And that's it. That's my bucket list. So Scooby does the... You know, here's what I'll say. I think this may be the first instance of a villain obviously still being unmasked, but having genuine powers. Like, obviously, you had like puppeteers doing their skill. You could argue that this is just a skill that someone has. But if I'm not very much mistaken, and perhaps I'm a little bit skeptical, I don't believe that anyone can actually do this in real life, right?
I mean, there's speculations because people have dabbled around with hypnotism, and there is where you can kind of hypnotize someone to relax, but not exactly. Like, I guess if you start doing what they're doing in like this episode, it's more brainwashing.
There's meant to be some form of like hypnotic treatment you can get for phobias and things as well.
Yes.
Oh, I was like in Phantasor.
No, like if you've got a phobia of spiders, you can go for the treatment and then you're not as afraid of them.
Oh, I need that then.
Like you can understand the level of threat to something but not be like disproportionately scared of it.
Oh yeah, you're right. And there's like cases, again, that almost heavy warning. But one of my favourite things to do is listen to like unsolved crime cases, right? And there's instances where like witnesses that saw something when they were maybe like 5 years old, after the fact when they're 12, 13 or something, and there's like a lead, they'll like hypnotise them to try and remember stuff. So I guess there is some credence to it. I'm just kind of thinking like, even without the clown mask, without the context of a Scooby episode, if somebody could do these things, that is scary in and of itself. It's almost like Kilgrave, right, from Jessica Jones. It's almost crazy. But I like it.
I just thought of something, speaking of hypnotism, and like when you mentioned Phantasor. So this is the first time, we see anyone get hypnotized, but Fred and Velma are the only ones in the whole entire franchise of Scooby Doo who have never been hypnotized.
Oh.
I wonder if that's because they do want to make it mythical and they almost think that Velma's brain is too developed to believe in it.
I guess that's almost technically
suggestive.
Wrong as well. If you can argue that hypnotism is... Well, what is hypnotism? Because I would almost say that the whole gang, apart from Shaggy and Scooby, get hypnotized in Mystery Incorporated in that episode where the skeleton singing people versus the Hex Girls. I forgot the name, but they're all like zombies singing, dancing people.
Oh, where it's like, you're dead right,
Yeah.
mate. I love that song. I guess that's more like a musical curse, because that's based on a real curse.
What an Aphrodite or a siren.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's true.
But no, Fred, I think Fred should be hypnotized by Daphne every day, so...
I think this episode has the least annoying Velma. I like how much they're helping, like, protect Scooby when they're up on the wire, like, with the trampolines and everything.
I like it too. I think they all just work together so well.
I think if you contrast this with, like, Mystery Incorporated when she's just trying to get Shaggy to get rid of Scooby, it's quite sweet.
I mean, the clown is crazy in every sense of the word, even to the point where, what are their... Like, do we ever find out the clown's specific goal, or is it revenge? Because I know that it's like, this person used to work for us, but just seeing that they go out of their way to genuinely cause harm, like, it's not enough to have Scooby, like, lifted up by balloons. It's, oh, now I'm gonna get some darts and I'm literally gonna try and squash this dog on the floor. It's like, what's this guy's problem?
So one thing, I did a little bit of research before this, actually, and what basically they put as the main motive and reason is because Mr. Barnstorm, wow, I can't speak and I'm so sorry. Mr. Barnstorm fired him and sent him to prison. So he then got out of prison and wants to shut down the circus and make Mr. Barnstorm look really bad, basically.
Oh, so it's revenge, malice. He's a clown of ill intent.
Okay, so moving on. This is a topic that I'm going to allow JayBee to very briefly touch on, because this could go badly very quickly.
What is that?
The next stage of the episode is that Daphne gets hypnotized.
Oh.
And she starts riding the unicycle. So JayBee, you've got 10 seconds.
No. Okay, here's one thing, right? Okay, so say Scooby gets on the trapeze act and then he snaps out of it and falls off, okay? But judging by what Rhianna was saying, headlines, Mr. Fingal Schnackle or whatever he's called, is negligent for animal abuse, the circus faces controversy or something, or canine casualty in circus big top disaster. I understand that, right? I don't quite understand what hypnotizing Daphne to do this would accomplish. It confuses me. It just seems like aesthetic, it's happening, it's cool.
I'm sure it's just meant to kind of be the creep factor that she normally couldn't even ride a bike and she's riding a unicycle.
Yeah, but that's for the audience's sake, for the gang's sake, not for the sake of the villain's motivation, right?
But
which is my issue.
For entertainment as opposed to real.
I'm analysing these monsters. You're going to let me analyse these monsters, because these monsters, they're on trial. This is the court of JayBee. Okay, and obviously, me being the Daphne fan that I am, obviously as a kid this scene did things to me. But
oh god.
What I will say is, canonically, this guy did hypnotise Daphne to take her clothes off, and then coincidentally had her size of clothes to put on, and then when Daphne snaps out of it she finds her own clothes very quickly, meaning that they may have just been on the floor where she was hypnotized or something.
So what I'm hearing here is you want another Daphne Funko Pop?
This should be the chase, or I just don't understand why. And again, I understand this guy's motivation. Why did he need to get her to change clothes? I think this clown was a pervert, and if he is a pervert, I think there are more interesting things he could have hypnotised her to do. And that's my piece.
Can I quickly say, did anyone notice that Shaggy says bicycle really weirdly?
Is it like bicycle?
Yeah.
The bicycle? As opposed to a heterocycle? Or a homocycle?
But usually we say like bicycle instead of bicycle. Like it's saying bye, cycle on, please.
Maybe it's an American thing, because they say loads of weird stuff like aluminum. What is aluminum? I don't know what aluminum is. Get good, America.
Aluminium. I know someone who mixes the two and says aluminium.
Aluminium. Oh, fudge me. So, Fred...
I have a fun fact.
Oh, is it about Daphne Tattoo Fan?
No. Although, speaking of Daphne Tattoo Fan, who's Peter New, who was in Scooby Natural, the ghost clown is mentioned in Scooby Natural.
I want to be a ghost clown. They should remaster this scene.
You're a simp, JayBee.
I want to be a unicycle.
So the fun fact is the music that's playing during Scooby's stunt, and I think it's also used in Daphne's like stunt, is actually originally from Wacky Races.
Isn't it that generic one that goes like da 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 da?
I think so, but I think they put like a little darker twist to it.
Oh, very Pennywisey. So, you've got Daphne being hypnotized, obviously, and she's cured when she gets wet. So that's interesting. Oh, interesting thing though. I think that a lot of the things that I like about the series, for all there's a lot that I don't agree with, in that you can almost get a glimpse into what things were back in the day. So, obviously, 2002 movie, if you want to know the epitome of early 2000s cheese and kind of bombasticism, watch the movie. And I almost feel like just for attitudes of the time, you can watch this series, because I do believe that animals used in circuses were outlawed a little bit after 1969. And so the fact that there are so many like elephants in this circus, and obviously the lion in the cage, is very, you know, like a classic look back into what things were.
I'm sure that was actually outlawed more recently than you'd think.
Really?
I'm sure I've been to a circus that has animals.
You know what? I'm not disagreeing
And I
with
was
you.
born in 98.
Like Google. Can someone say something semi...
Oh, sorry, I just googled it.
Oh, okay. No need for an intermission.
In the UK, it was banned in 1997, but apparently, so there's no federal law in the United States for performing animals. However, certain states have restricted them. So you have to prove that there's no abuse going on. So basically, it's like you can have a dog performing in the circus as long as you're not abusing it and using like shock collars and prong collars. It's basically like...
Yeah, that's a good point. How come you can't have elephants bouncing balls, but you can have these old grannies on Britain's Got Talent with poodles doing backflips? This is double standard. I don't like it.
I'm trying to work out if it was outlawed in 97 how I've been to a circus.
I mean, you were from the countryside, right? Which isn't bad, but there can be a lot of things that get...
No, but circuses aren't just fixed in one place. They like move around it.
But you're right. I think I saw something in Blackpool Tower. I think there was an elephant doing something.
I definitely haven't seen elephants, but I've seen like horses and stuff.
Horses aren't animals, surely.
They are animals, JayBee.
Not like proper animals. They're like just things in field, like cows. They're not like elephants or giraffes or things that you'd pay to go and see. Or orangutan.
Oh gosh, orangutans. You know how are we on to the bit with Shaggy and the lion?
Oh, we can do. Because Shaggy is the lion tamer. Simba, or is it?
Yeah, Simba.
Mufasa.
No, it's he calls the lion Simba, and this was a couple of decades before The Lion King. So Disney,
Yeah, Disney.
kind of took it from Scooby. Although, Simba is, I think it's Swahili for lion, but
Oh, if they'd researched Swahili and for lion in 1969, but couldn't get the proper Indian culture in the last few episodes, then I'm gonna be. Oh.
And there is actually a story of like The Lion King with like Simba and everything, but it wasn't by Disney.
Yes, you're right. Because I read online, there's like a whole backstory about Scar, and it's like genuinely, it makes him sympathetic. It's like the Joker, right? He's like the Joker, but as a lion. Oh, you know what? Whenever, if ever, The Lion King goes into like public domain again, or maybe it already is for Disney to adopt it, I don't know. But if ever it goes into a public domain, I'm gonna write and direct a Scar movie.
I just googled what Scar's name was before he was called Scar, and it was Taka, which in
Yes.
Swahili means waste or not wanted. That's so mean.
Exactly. There's so much you could go into with a Scar movie. Oh. And I think it was Mufasa that gave him the scar, or it was one of his parents or something.
Yeah, wasn't it a thing where like Mufasa and him had to fight for who was going to be king?
I think so.
And there's certainly something like insinuated in the new adaptation.
Oh yeah.
About, is it Somali?
The woman.
Yeah.
Isn't it not Shakira? It's like Shagiri or Shakiri? I don't know.
But
Shakiri.
Like
That's a good.
insinuated that there was a fight over her as well, right? Between.
It's not Nala. It's Nala's mum, not Purdy. We'll get onto that at some other point. But one day, okay, watch out for it. There's going to be a Scar movie hitting theaters near you, and it's going to be the best movie in the world. It's going to be Academy Award nominated. I'm going to audition voice actors in the next couple of months, so drop your resume below. So, we have the clown making a bit of mess. So obviously Shaggy is all brave. I think again something that's aged a bit poorly is the fact that Shaggy's depicted whipping the lion, but you know, I guess it's just standard lion tamer stuff. And obviously the ghost clown is going to conspire to blow the whistle, which would obviously make Shaggy just basically alone with a whip and a chair with a lion, which obviously isn't quite what we're looking for. So Scooby manages to save them, and the gang kind of feel like they've trapped the ghost clown in one of those carts. It's like a lion cart, an animal cart, but it's an inflatable. Which I kind of question why the ghost clown would need that, as they've never shown a functional use for it before. But, you know, it's a good fake art. It's a good fake art. So
then is this where they then work out a new way of deceiving the clown where they use mirrors?
Yeah.
To almost reflect the hypnotic formula.
Well, yeah, you'd assume that the visual of the coin spinning and the word is what does it, and so if the clown can hear that and see it, then they'll be hypnotized themselves. It is a bit of a wonder why the clown doesn't stop talking once seeing the mirrors. But again, it's just the fun animation, and they have to wrap it up by like 20 minutes. You know, they don't allow us to dwell on this stuff. So it's fun, but I will say the ghost clown acting like a chimp for some reason was like 1,000 times scarier to me than the ghost clown. There was just something unsettling about that. I didn't like it. Oh, no. But I guess that is Bedlam in the Big Top. Pretty cool. Pretty cool episode. I mean, we'll see. So, Millie.
JayBee.
Ask us the
Smash
question.
or pass?
So, Bedlam in the Big Top is a classic. I think so far from the ones we've seen, this may very well be my favourite so far. I think the clown is so freaky, so scary. Even if you don't have chlorophobia, I think you're going to find something a bit unsettling in this episode, be it the music, the chimpanzee clown, anything. And obviously, you know, as a little boy, this is like one of the things that I love so much about Daphne. It changed me as a man and as a human. So I'm going to smash Bedlam in the Big Top. Millie, would you smash or pass Scooby Doo, where are you in Bedlam in the Big Top?
For me, it has to be a definite smash. I'd say this was one of the episodes, at least from the series, that I watched the most growing up. Growing up, I was all about kind of what's new, but this is one episode that I did watch repeatedly and enjoyed a lot. I think it's a good villain. It's a fun plot as well, you know, to kind of... I don't know, I used to love the circus. I just used to find it really fun.
Did you ever watch that movie about the little girl that runs off to the circus full of dinosaurs?
No.
Okay, you should watch it. I'm putting it on the list. Rhianna, would you smash or pass Scooby Doo, where are you in Bedlam in the Big Top?
So for me, you know, I feel like this is just a thing for a lot of the episodes. Like I can't think of one off the top of my head that I would pass, so it's a smash from me. Oh, JayBee! Come on.
Oh no.
I do have a few little things I'd like to say before we wrap up. So first, did anyone else notice that once they unmasked him, he looked so much like the puppeteer from Backstage Rage?
I just thought he looked like a bit of a creep, like just an old man.
So what if? Okay, just speculating. So no one object me. But so what if the gang sent him? So originally he was the hypnotist who was sent to prison and everything. He came out, reinvented himself, and thought, okay, I'll try with like counterfeit bills and everything. Caught again, but then he escaped again, and that's why he's trying to also get revenge on the gang, because they also sent him to prison.
I think it's possible that the ghost clown hypnotized every single one of the gang in this and eventually got their revenge, but because the gang are hypnotized, they are then like the rest of the series and the rest of the whole of Scooby is now an illusion set up by the ghost clown.
Oh my gosh, that's dark.
Yeah. They're still
And
there. They're still in the circus.
To like end on a little bit of a lighter tone, would you like to know what the translation of several other languages is of this episode's name? Because there's some weird ones.
Like from, like, oh, yeah.
So the one, it's Brazilian Portuguese, is confusion at the elevation. French had two names, the ghost of the clown and what a circus under the tent. Greek also had two, the clown of the circus, and the second one was crack braining on a wire. No idea what that means. And Hungarian was the crazy clown. So pretty glad and happy that we got Bedlam in the big top, because that rolls off the tongue a lot more than
what
crack
the heck
braining
is
on
a
wire.
bedlam?
Bedlam just means like crazy or like hectic or confusion.
Bonkers.
It could have been bonkers in the big top. Oh my gosh, I would have preferred that. But I guess that does indeed wrap us up. In terms of community news, just subscribe to the channel, because I'm really not sure anyone else is doing anything. I'm sorry to say. But come on, just subscribe. There's already a mind-blowing thing coming up, right? The thing. This channel is the place to be. I forgot when I said I was going to release it. If I am overhyping this, if you watch that and are disappointed, and you'll know what it is when you see it,
it's on the UK release day of 2000.
Personally, I will personally send you a rare vintage collectible, and I'll write you into my will, and I'll grant you one genie wish, because this is literally going to be the best thing that anything to do with Scooby has been released with thus far. Like, you are not ready for this. I promise. I guarantee it. And
it's Kent Bader level.
It's more. It's like if Kent Bader cloned himself 5 times and impregnated each other, and a load of Bader babies just started coming around, and then eventually an army of Baders take over the world. It should be Bader in the big top. Hand on heart, you're not ready. You're not ready. But I guess that leaves us with the outro. If you did enjoy this, please make sure to like the video, because it does help us a lot with the algorithm, and also comment down below what you think about Bedlam in the big top, because we'd certainly be interested to hear what you think about it, and if you'd smash or pass it yourself. And stick along for the next episode, which will be a review of A Gaggle of Galloping Ghosts, and hopefully that's going to be a fun one to do. So you can find all of Rhianna's social links in the description down below. Check out all of that route into wholesome content. And for more of this, then please like, comment, and subscribe to JayBee Milly. And we'll see you next time. Oh, Daphne.